All right, so we've gone through under 25, under 50, and under 100. Today's price category are gifts under $200. So over the next few days, I'll be doing gift guides under a bunch of different budgets. We're going to do under $25, under $50, under $100, under $200, and over $200. I'll also be doing videos specifically for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So get subscribed and turn on notifications if you want to be notified when these videos come out. I will also be adding them to the gift guide playlist, which I will include up in the top right hand corner and in the description. It will have last year's videos as well as this year's as they come out. All products I talk about will have links in the description. Most of these will be affiliate links. You're not obligated to use these, but if you do, they do support the channel and I really do appreciate it. Also, whenever I see particularly good deals that stand out quite a bit, I do post them in my Discord. You're welcome to go ahead and join and check out that deals channel. Now, there are a lot of gift ideas under the $200 mark. It is a very large budget and there are a lot of things available. I'll try to get through all the ones that I really do suggest and I've seen good sales on. We're going to start off with some headsets. The SteelSeries Arctis Nova 7 is a very, very good headset. $142.99 right now. Typically, it is $80. One thing to keep in mind is that it is a USB-C connector, but that is a very good thing. It allows you to use it with a lot of great devices like the Nintendo Switch, the SteamDeck, the ROG Ally, and so on. They're a very nice and well-built headphone. I have the upgraded version of these, but in terms of the actual fit and finish, they're both extremely similar. The other great benefit of these is that they do have the 2.4 gigahertz as well as Bluetooth on top of that, so you do get some flexibility. Another really good option under $200 are the Logitech G Pro X. Now these are the first generation versions of the headphone. They're also very, very good for a wireless headphone. They're extremely popular. Unfortunately, they do only use a USB in terms of the wireless functionality, so keep that in mind. It is a full USB-A. Now that said, this is a very well-built wireless headset. They're comfortable, they do a good job. I do have a pair of these. Just like with all the others, I don't really use them because for work I use the upgraded Arctis Nova Pros, and then for gaming and everything I use open back headphones. But these are a very good headphone and currently $153. Now when going wired, you do get quite a few options as well. For example, the Rode NTH100M. These are a closed back wired headphone. These are technically just the NTH100s with the microphone attached. It comes in the box. You can get the NT100s and get the microphone separately if you want as well. But at $170, these are a very good headphone. Right now it's $20 off from the regular of $190. Very good option from Rode. Under $200, you also get access to the Audio-Technica BP-HS1s. These are a very, very popular headset. If you've ever watched a CNanners or Mr. Sark video, you've seen them wear these.
This is book 1, but already published is at least 18, with another 47 in the works, simultaneously.
They're a very well-built headphone, and the microphone is considered to be probably one of the best that have ever been put on a headset, to be honest with you. Normally these are $200. Currently they're only $10 off. Nothing crazy or spectacular, but these are a very well-built pair of headphones. They'll last you an extremely long time. And if you do want the best quality microphone on a headset, this is probably the one that you're going to want. Under $200, we also get the PC38X from Drop and Epos or Drop and Sennheiser. These are very good. I also have a pair of these. They're a very, very good headphone. Them being open back is nice. I personally like open back headphones and I prefer them. The microphone is very good. You can get them in the original black and yellow, or you can get them in the full solid black as well. Both the same price, $180. Now, you can get these cheaper directly from Drop. They're currently $120. Sometimes the shipping seems to be a little bit varied in terms of whether or not you get free or you don't get free shipping, so do keep that in mind. They are currently on sale, which is great. It's a great option to buy from Drop. If you end up using the link that I put in the description, it is an affiliate link, but it gives you an additional $10 off. Oddly enough, the all black ones are more expensive from Drop than the original yellow and black ones. It is still cheaper than Amazon, however, so this is another great option. Another nice pair of headphones are the H6 Pros, again from Epos. These are again another open back headphone. These are kind of like some of the successors to Sennheiser's earlier gaming headsets. It's a really, really good and well-built headset. I do have a pair of these in a closed back, and I like them a lot. I wish I did have the open back ones. This is a really good option if you do want the open back. Under $200, you also do get a pretty good selection of microphones, and in terms of USB microphones, the Elgato Wave 3 is considered to be one of the best that you can get, especially for the money in terms of value. The reason that this is so popular is that not only is the hardware really good, like the actual microphone itself is great, but the software that Elgato bundles with this is considered to be some of the best and some of the most intuitive. A lot of people that do use this consider it to be one of the best value products in terms of a microphone, and a lot of people do gravitate to it because of that software that it gets used with. Another great USB microphone under $200 is the NT USB Plus. Currently right now it's $166. This is a really good option. It's very sleek looking, does a good job. You can use it with all sorts of devices, just like most of the USB microphones. A very good option from Rode, and I've had a great experience with my Rode microphones in the past. Speaking of good Rode microphones that I've used in the past, the Rode PodMic also has a USB version. So I used the original XLR version. The USB version is available for $199, right below that $200 price point. Again, this is one of those things that may go on sale between when I release this video and when you end up watching it. This is one of the few options that has both XLR and USB available on it, that gives you a flexibility of using it as XLR, maybe when you're at your desk and you have a full setup. And then if you're traveling or doing something like that, you can bring it as USB, or you can start off with it in USB and then you can graduate to an XLR setup if you really want to. This does give you that flexibility in those options. It also does come with a rather large and bulky windscreen. One of the things that I didn't like about my original PodMic, probably the only thing I didn't like, is that its plosives weren't very good, and it did pick up a lot of background noise. Supposedly this windscreen really helps improve that in terms of both the background noise and the plosives. Now, another great microphone at the lower end of this budget is the Razer Siren V2 Pro. This is a very well-reviewed microphone. Razer's done a good job with their microphones in the past, and they've kind of taken what did really, really well with the original Siren and Siren Mini and just improved it all around. Now, in terms of XLR microphones, you get a few options here as well. The AKG Pro P2020 is a very good vocal-focused condenser microphone. This is a very well-reviewed microphone. It does a very good job. People believe that it punches well above its price point at the $100 to $150 that it usually goes for. So this is a great option. Another very popular option is the E100SX, which is a supercardioid condenser microphone. This one is extremely popular for people who like to really focus on vocal content. It's said to be a very, very good microphone. I personally can't speak to it because I don't have it, but it is said to be extremely sensitive and good at picking up basically everything. If you are going to use this microphone, you're probably going to want to be in a sound-treated room of some sort, and have very low background noise, or else you will be picking up a lot of that in the microphone. Another great microphone at this price point is the SR117. This is another supercardioid condenser microphone, but it is a stage style microphone. One of the reasons this is so popular is that due to it being a stage style microphone, Earthworks really focused on minimizing the handling noise as much as possible. What this allows you to do is move around with the microphone as much as you want, and it won't pick up a lot of handling noise from your hand on the handle or the cable moving around. This is really great if you or the person that you're gifting to wants to do more interview style content where you're handling the microphone between yourself and the person that you're talking to, or if you just like doing more handheld microphone content. Under $200, you can also get some really great bookshelf speakers. And when people ask me what kind of speakers I would usually suggest for them to put at a desk, if they have the space, I would highly suggest something like these Edifer R1700 BTSs. The reason for that is that these are an extremely flexible set of speakers. You can use them at a desk with your computer. You can use them at a TV to amplify and have a better sound from your TV. And when Edifer has the S on the end, that means that they have a subwoofer line out. So you can also expand these with a subwoofer down the line if you really want to. Normally they're under $200. Currently there's an additional 30% off with a coupon, which is an incredibly good deal. These are a very good speaker. I've suggested it to quite a few people and they're all very happy with their purchase. and you just get a lot more performance and features out of these than, computer speakers at the same price point. You get Bluetooth with these, you get a full remote. You also get 2 line-ins available on these, and that allows you to plug in both your computer and any other device like a record player, a TV, a mixer, whatever you really want to. And it's just one of those reasons, their flexibility, as I mentioned, are one of the big reasons I would suggest these over more computer-focused speakers. Now, there are a lot of headphones available at this price point, and I will try to keep it condensed and not talk about too many. The first ones we're going to talk about, however, are the Birdynamic DT770 Pros. You do get a few options here in terms of the ohms. So if the person that you're gifting to has a DAC amp and is able to drive the 250 ohms, these are a really good option. Currently, they're $160 on sale, regularly $170. If they do not have a DAC amp, I would highly suggest going with the 80 or the 32 ohm versions. These are also on sale. They're also lower in price right now, $140 for the 80 ohms. These are a great headphone. I have a pair of them and I really do like them. I just don't use them as a main pair of headphones. Another great option under $200 are the NTH100s. Again, we talked about the NTH100Ms, which have the microphone attached to them earlier, but these ones are a very good headphone at $150. If you want, you can buy the microphone later and use them as a headset. They're a good closed back headphone. They're not going to blow you away, but they're also a lot better than the options under $100, for example. And Rode does have a really good warranty program. They back their products really, really well. So if you end up ever having issues with these, you're covered. Another really nice pair of headphones that are open back this time are the Sennheiser HD560Ss. These are currently $150 on sale, down from $230. I really do like the sound and the comfort of the Sennheiser headphones. I have the cheaper versions of these that I used for an extremely long period of time, and I really did like them. The 560Ss are a very well reviewed headphone, and they use a similar build to the ones that I used, so I can speak on it in terms of comfort and long lasting. These are a really great middle ground headphone that can be used for all sorts of content, whether it's gaming or music or movies or what have you. They're a really good option. They're down from $230 to $150, which is a pretty good deal right now. Another great option are the Philips Fidelio X2HRs, which are a rather bulky pair of headphones, but they're a very, very good, comfortable, and great sounding pair of headphones. I own these and I use them for years. I also used these for a very long time as my main headphones, and then I switched over to the Sennheisers, originally the 598s, and now I use the 6XX as my main headphones. These Philips headphones are really, really comfortable. They're not great for portability because they are a little bit bulky, as I mentioned, but they do have that hammock or bungee style headband. Very, very comfortable, open back. They're very well built, and I really did enjoy the sound. Now, any of the headphones that I've talked about, or any headphones that you or your giftee own, if they use a single detachable 3.5mm jack as their input, you can replace that with something like the V-Moda Boom Pro here to turn it into a headset for very inexpensive. Currently, it's only $15. This is awesome. I did this for many years, and I would highly suggest it. Now, considered to be one of the best value open back headphones you can buy are the HD58X from Massdrop and Sennheiser. These are $140 right now on sale. They typically do go on sale for around $120 to $140. These are an incredible pair of headphones. They do a very good job. They're a great middle ground for a lot of different type of content. They're an incredible headphone, and you are getting a massive discount because it is one of those Massdrop and a brand collaborations. One of the other great things about the HD58X is that they can be used with basically any device. They're not a crazy high impedance headphone, so you can use them with a mobile device, you can use them with a computer without a DAC amp, you can use them with a tablet, you can use them with whatever you want. Now, if you'd like a slightly better pair of headphones, you can get the HD6XX, which are what I use. These would require you to have some kind of DAC amp or amplification system, but these are an incredible pair of headphones. Currently, right now, they're $199. Just like all the other drop products, if you do use the link that I put in the description, which is an affiliate link, it'll give you an extra $10 off if it is your first drop purchase. I absolutely love these headphones. They're probably one of my favorite purchases. I had originally bought these before COVID, and then COVID hit. I was laid off for a little bit, so I sold them, and then I bought them back again, and I'm so glad I did because these headphones are incredible. Now, speaking of headphones that may require an amp, you can get a really good DAC amp under $200 now as well. The FIO K7 here is a really good option right at the $200 mark. It may go on sale soon. Time will tell. These have a plethora of inputs and outputs, so they're a very good option, especially if you or the person that you're gifting to wants to use both headphones and some speakers as well. Now, the FIO was a combination DAC amp. You can also buy the DAC and the amp separately, and usually when people put those together, they will call them a stack. So for example here, you can get the Shit Modi 3 Plus for $99 right now on sale, and you can also get their Magni Plus right now for $99 again. So the combination of these together would be under $200. This is a very common stack that people will go with. Now, I don't have a ton of experience with DAC amps, so I can't really tell you which option would be better. I did use this Origin G2 DAC amp for a very long period of time, and then when I switched over to using my mixers provided more than enough power for most of my headphones. And even then, I also used to use my AVR as a DAC amp for a while. So I would highly suggest, if you're planning on picking one of these up for yourself or your giftee, take a look and see if there are more options available. These are just ones that I do know of and I do know are very well reviewed. Now, below $200, you can also get some very, very good true wireless earbuds as well. The most popular example would be the Apple AirPods Pro 2s. These are an extremely popular noise canceling pair of earbuds. They do a very good job. My family bought these for my father last year. He really does like them. And especially if you're in the Apple ecosystem, they do a little bit more for you. Another great option at a much lower price point within this tier are the Google Pixel Buds Pro. These are $120 right now, down from $200. You do get a few more color options with these as well. They also do have noise cancellation, although not as good as the Apple AirPod Pros. They have a great charging case. They do a lot of really good things, and these have a little bit more functionality on the Android side. Now, something I've wanted to invest in myself, and I just haven't jumped the gun yet on it, is a portable power station. I do a lot of camping and I do a lot of things outdoors, and one of these would be really great. One of the only ones I was able to find under $200 right now is the Anker 521, currently $170. Again, I don't have any personal experiences with these kind of devices, but when I do go camping, I do see them very, very often. They seem extremely convenient, being able to use outlets and USBs, and you can charge them with solar panels that are an optional addition as well. Seems like a great option for someone who likes spending a lot of time outdoors, but also likes having their tech like I do. This is a pretty cool option for $200. Now, another really cool device that a lot of people initially only think about as a streaming accessory, but it can be used for so much more, is the StreamDeck from Elgato. Currently, right now, it's $150. You can use this for so many things other than streaming. I have seen people use it for video editing. I've seen people use it to control all of their smart devices in their house. I've seen people use it for color work. I've seen basically anything you can think of. A StreamDeck can probably get used when a computer is involved. Now, under $200, you can get the 15-key MK2 in both black and white. The white is actually currently on sale for $120 right now. I'm sure that the black version will also go on sale, and it seems like the white even has an additional 10% off coupon. There are tons of videos out there showing how you can maximize your use out of the StreamDecks. And if you are going to gift this to someone or buy it for yourself, I would highly suggest you check those out. Elgato also recently released the StreamDeck Plus, which has knobs and a display on it. It has fewer buttons, but a lot of people really do enjoy the screen interface and the knobs for being able to do a bunch of different things. Still available at this price point, currently $170, regularly $200. This is another really cool option, although this one is a little bit more focused towards streaming, and maybe video editing would be a really good idea for these. Now, another great device that is great for people who stream, and they can be used for other purposes as well, is a really good webcam. There are a couple options here. We have the Elgato Facecam, which is currently $120 right now. It's a nice 1080p 60 webcam, so it does a pretty good job. It can be used for work, it can be used for streaming, a whole bunch of purposes here. Another really good option is the Logitech StreamCam, And actually, since creating this list and putting it together, it's gone on sale for Black Friday, so it's even into our $100 budget price point. But if you do find it on regular price, it's $170. This is a really good option as well. They both have their benefits, their pros and cons. The Elgato has a little bit more software available for it, although Logitech is no slouch when it comes to the software either. They're both pretty good options. Now, another great option under $200 can be smartwatches or smart wearables. And currently, with all the sales going on, you can end up finding some really, really good deals. The Garmin Vivo Active 4, as you can see here, it is well over our $200 price point. But if it ends up going on sale like it did when I purchased it back in June or July, I ended up buying it for $170 at that price point. It is an incredible smartwatch. I am not using it anymore, and I will talk about that in a video probably in the new year. But the Vivo Active 4 was amazing. I didn't stop using it because I didn't like it. I stopped using it because I got something a little bit better. But it is a really, really good watch. And if you're able to find it for that sale price again that I picked it up for, definitely worth it. Now, another option that is on sale within our price budget right now is the Apple Watch SE. Usually $250. Currently, it's down to $180 for the 40mm version. This is obviously the better choice if you're on the Apple side of things and you want more of a smart device instead of a fitness device. The Garmin will always be a little bit more focused towards the fitness activities side of things, and Apples are just really good with integrating within the Apple ecosystem. Now, if you've watched any of my live streams before, you may know that I really do love Lego, and Lego is one of those things where the $100 to $200 price point is a really nice sweet spot for some great sets. For example, this Lego Technic Porsche 911 RSR race car model is $175. These kits are really cool for anybody, really. One thing I really do love about Legos is that they can be given to somebody within any age range if you really think about it. This Porsche, for example, can be given to anybody who's maybe around the age of 10 and up. They can put this thing together. You can obviously find kits that are for younger children, and those ones will be even cheaper. But, you know, if somebody were to give me this Porsche as a gift, I would be over the moon happy about it. There are a lot of really, really good options at this price point, as I mentioned. There are so many different areas, whether the person likes vehicles, whether they like art, whether they like architecture, whether they like Star Wars. So many different areas of interest that Lego kind of provides to you and makes available to you. It's such a flexible gift idea. Definitely take a look. Don't hesitate to give someone who's a little bit older a Lego gift. Again, as I mentioned, if I were to be given a really cool Lego set as a almost 30-year-old man, I would be over the moon. And I do love putting together Lego sets. I have a couple up behind me here. I have 2 more that I plan on putting together on live streams before Christmas. Lego is just one of those really fun things. They're fun to put together, and then they can be a display piece. So they're one of those things that also last a really long time as well. Lego is just such a great gift. In the previous video of the $100 and under budget, we did talk about some dash cams and how they've dropped below the $100 price point, and it's really nice to see. Once you go from $100 to $200, there is one really solid option that would be recommended to almost anybody, and that is the 70mm dash cam. One of the things that you get at this higher price point is not only a higher quality camera, but you do often get a 2-channel system. So you'll get a front and rear camera available to you. This camera is available for $180 regular price. Currently it's $144. This one is very, very well reviewed. It does a very good job. People consider this to be one of the best value ones that you can get under $200 regularly. I haven't seen any of the other more expensive cameras come below the $200 price point as of this video recording, but they may, so I would definitely go ahead and check some out. You can get some really good 2-channel dash cams at this price point. Now, I hope you're sitting in a comfortable chair, because for the next little while, I'm going to be talking about keyboards. Reason for that is this $100 to $200 price point is the absolute sweet spot for keyboards. The money that you're spending, you're getting a increase in quality to a next degree, an incredible level. And I believe that within this price bracket, you should be able to get a very, very good long-lasting keyboard. And once you go over the $200 range, you're kind of paying for features that you may not use. And going below the $100 range, you're probably just not getting the same level of quality, although you can still get a good keyboard. Now, there are a lot of reasons why you may choose one keyboard or another. You know, examples would be the layout and size, the case material, the switches that are available to you, a whole bunch of things. I did do a video talking about this quite a bit, and I will put a card right up here somewhere, but choosing all of those things and then deciding what keyboard to get, either for yourself or for your giftee, is a really, really good idea. Most of the keyboards I'm going to be talking about are hot swappable, and what that means is that you can switch the switches out for another pair of switches later. So if you choose a switch and over time you end up being like, you know what, I don't really like these, you're always able to go ahead and buy another set of switches and replace them with the new set, and you're not replacing your entire keyboard. So with all that in mind, I talked about them before and I'll talk about them again. Keychron is an incredible option at this price point. The Q series is probably one of the best. I use a Q3 as my main keyboard, and it's been my main keyboard since I picked it up. I also do have a Q1. Like here, you're able to get the red or the brown Gateron switches for under $200 right now. Regular $200 price, currently down to $160. This is a really, really good option. The difference between the Q1 and the Q3 is just the layout. So with the Q1, it's 75%. With the Q3, you get a TKL. These ones are normally over $200, but you are getting them under $200 on sale. And again, you get them available with the brown or the red switches. One of the really nice things about the Q series keyboards is that they are a full aluminum body and they're gasket mounted, which makes the keyboard typing experience amazing. I love typing on my keyboard, and anybody who's ever tried it has also loved it. It makes such a big difference going to a heavy, well-built keyboard from using cheaper keyboards previously. It just makes a world of a difference. With the current sales, even the full-size Q series, the Q6, is under $200 right now. I don't think I've ever seen it drop below $200 like this, so this is a really, really good option. Again, these are all also available directly from Keychron, but you do end up having to pay for shipping, and because these keyboards are so heavy, the shipping is usually not cheap. I remember paying almost $40 for my shipping. Again, I'm up in Canada, so that doesn't help either. But keep that in mind. Right now, with the deals that are on Amazon, these are a really, really good option. Now, if you want to go towards the larger brands, you can usually also still get a pretty good keyboard, and they'll usually have different set of features. For example, the SteelSeries Apex Pro is a TKL layout. It has an OLED screen on it. Pretty nice keyboard. You know, you're going to get RGB on basically all of these, but you do lose the hot swappable ability on this keyboard. That said, however, this is a very, very well-reviewed keyboard. The regular price is $190. It may possibly go on sale. Keep an eye on it. This is just one of the options. Another option at this price point is the Corsair K70. It's another TKL keyboard. Again, very, very popular. Currently on sale, down from $150 to $115. This is a very, very popular keyboard within the professional esports gaming communities. You do get a lot of switches available to you at the $100 to $200 price point. So again, take a look at those. Just like with the SteelSeries, the Corsair, you do not get hot swappable switches, so do keep that in mind. Now going into wireless with the big brand, you can get something like the Razer ProType Ultra, which is focused a little bit more towards typing, as you can kind of assume in the name. This is a very well-reviewed keyboard as well. $160 is a pretty good price. This is a full-size keyboard here. Again, very well-reviewed, a good option from Razer. Just like the other large brands though, you do not get hot swappable switches on this. Now going back towards Keychron, you can get the Q1 Pro series, which are also under the $200 price point right now. Currently the Q1 Pro is $176. You do get quite a few switch options at this price point. There are a lot of different options, so take a look at the Q Pro series if you want wireless, or if you want wired, the standard Q series is what you would want. There are also different colorways available, so take a look at those. I'm just showing you the white here. You do get the brown, you get banana switches, or you get the reds here with the Q1 Pro. The Q3 Pro is also available under $200. These prices are pretty great right now. You get the same switch options between the banana, the brown, and the red. These are all on sale under $200, and these are the wireless versions of the standard Q series. Now, going back to the big brands, you can get the Logitech G715. It's another great wireless keyboard here. This one has the red switches, although they do have the clicky blue switches and the tactile brown switches as well. You do get a lot of options here. This is also a very well-reviewed keyboard, so this is a great option. Typically $200 right now, down to 150, great discount. Now, if you want wireless keyboards that are a little bit more focused towards being portable and very easy to throw into a bag or something like that, one of the best options are the Logitech MX Mechanical series. The full size here is $170 and there's an extra $8 coupon. You can get the tactile quiet switches, you can get the blue switches, or you can get the red switches. These keyboards are very good. I do have the full size mechanical in that cabinet somewhere. It's a really good keyboard. The one that I have in there has the blue switches. Don't like it nearly as much. I actually end up using the mechanical mini, which has the brown tactile switches, and this is my main work keyboard. I use it all the time, and it's really nice and small, so I throw it into my work bag whenever I go to the office. This is a really, really good keyboard. I really do enjoy it. I like having a wireless keyboard for my work stuff because I am usually moving around quite a bit in terms of where I'm typing. Sometimes I'll type directly on my laptop. Sometimes I'll extend its display out to my other monitors. So being able to move around is really nice. And then being able to bring this to work without being a nuisance or a really loud typer at the office is really nice. This is an incredible keyboard. I would suggest it to anybody. It is also on sale, down from 150 to 130, and there's also that 650 coupon that's available. So that's really, really great. Again, you do get the full options of the different switches available to you as well. And you can actually buy the MX Mechanical series with the Master 3S mice, which, as I mentioned in the last video, is one of my favorite mice of all time. And you can get them for even cheaper together. So we talked about how the MX Master 3S in the last video was $100, and this keyboard on its own is currently $130. So if you combine that together, it's well over $200. You get a little bit of a discount here at $208.23. That is over our budget a little bit, but I did want to mention it because it is a really good combo deal. And if you're buying this gift for somebody else and that the budget for that gift is $200, you can end up buying the keyboard for the $130, still be under that budget, and get yourself a really good mouse at the same time. Another really great compact wireless keyboard at this price point is the Newfie Air 75. This is a very popular wireless keyboard as well. They do a very good job. These are hot swappable switches, really, really well built here. It's very popular. It has both a dongle and Bluetooth available for it. Nice, simple, compact keyboard. This is one that some people really do enjoy using, again, as a good travel keyboard. Now that we're all through with keyboards, naturally the next thing to talk about are going to be mice, and we have two very good wireless mice at the $200 and under price point. First one we're going to talk about here is the Logitech G Pro X Superlight. It's a very, very popular wireless mouse. This is used by esports players all over the world and tons of others. It's currently discounted $160 down to $110. The Gen 1 is the only one currently on sale, so it's down from $160 to $110 right now. You do get a few color options as well. The Gen 2 is still within our price range. It's just the standard $160. The 2 is obviously the newer version. One of the major changes on the second generation, though, is the change of switches. Instead of using mechanical switches on the left and right click, it uses a hybrid optical switch instead. And then, as anything new should be, the other update is that it is now using USB-C instead of micro USB, which the original probably shouldn't have been using micro USB in the first place, but it's great that they switched it over to USB-C. Now, another extremely popular option at this price point is the Razer Viper V2 Pro. This and the Superlight are usually compared to each other side by side absolutely all the time. Currently, it is down to $120 from $150. You do get a few color options here, although the prices will vary a little bit. This is also a very, very popular mouse. It's a lot more similar to the Generation 2 of the Superlight because it uses the optical switches and it has that USB-C cable. So whichever option makes the most sense for you or your giftee, these are both really good options to get. Now, in a similar thread, controllers are something where you can get a very nice premium version of the standard controllers at this higher price point, and they have a ton of added functionality. For example, the Xbox Elite Wireless Series 2 controller is a very, very good premium controller. I use one. I've gifted one to one of my closest friends. I've had a bunch of other people buy them after I talked about how much I enjoyed them, and everybody's very happy with them. Standard price $130, although you likely find this on sale, whether it's going to be on Amazon during Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales, or it's directly from Microsoft or Walmart or Target or what have you. There are some different colors available to you as well, which is really, really nice. When they first came out, it was just the black. You get some really nice options. The upgrades that you get over a standard Xbox controller is that the thumbsticks and the D-pad are switchable. Now, the benefits that you get with the Elite controller over the standard controllers is that the D-pad and the thumbsticks are removable and replaceable with different versions of them. So the thumbsticks will be taller, and the D-pad can either be this hexagonal D-pad that you see here, or the standard cross D-pad that you would see. The other big thing is the inclusion of the paddles on the rear. This is probably one of the biggest reasons a lot of people really do like the Elite controllers. They're very popular for it. They do a great job, and those paddles are also removable if you don't want to use them. The triggers are also able to be changed from different trigger lengths, so you can make them a hairline trigger where they're extremely short, or you can make them extremely deep. Very, very good controllers. I really do love mine, and it's a great controller. Now, since the release of the PS5, PlayStation decided to do something similar to what Xbox did, and they released a premium version of their controller called the DualSense Edge. Just like the Elite controller, you're able to get those triggers on the back, the little paddles. You're able to adjust the way that the triggers work. You do get some changeable parts as well. You get a case and your standard USB-C charging, which is really nice. You do get quite a few options in terms of colors here as well, I believe. Unlike the Elite, the Edge only comes in white, however, so do keep that in mind, and it isn't currently discounted. It is the standard price of $200 right now. Now, we talked about this a little bit in the $100 and under video, but hard drives at this point are not a great option as a main drive for anything on your computer anymore, because solid state drives have just come down in price so much that you can get really comparable capacities for really good prices. But where hard drives still reign king is in terms of huge capacity. Something like this Western Digital Easy Store 18 terabyte. This is an incredible option as a backup or archival drive. You can also probably end up shucking this drive and using it in something like a server. It is a very good deal right now at this price of $200. So if you did want something with this kind of capacity under $200, I would definitely suggest hopping on this deal before it's over. Now, as of this video, I didn't see too many incredible sales for higher capacity NVMe drives under $200, but one that I did find was this Team Group MP34 4TB. One of the really nice things about this is that you're getting it for $152, normally $180, but it has DRAM and it's a TLC drive, so that is a major benefit. Most of the other drives you'll find with 4 terabytes of storage under $200 are going to be either DRAMless or they're going to be QLC or something of the like. At this price, it's a really good deal. I would definitely suggest checking it out if you wanted a really high capacity NVMe drive. And our final item under $200, especially with current sales on right now, is a really good monitor. You can end up finding a 27-inch 144 hertz monitor under $200 that is an IPS panel, which, you know, in previous years would have been extremely difficult to find. But for example, this LG Ultra Gear is available right at the $200 price point on sale right now. This is a very, very good 1440p 27-inch display. It is probably the sweet spot in terms of money that you're going to be spending and the quality that you're going to get in return. 27-inch and 1440p is also a really great sweet spot in terms of size to resolution. So this is a really awesome option. Now, I have seen one or two other 27-inch 1440p 144 hertz displays right at this $200 mark. Keep an eye out for that, but this is the best one that I saw and I thought it was worth mentioning. So that is my list of gift ideas under $200 that you can go ahead and check out. I really do hope that this video helped you out, and if not, I at least hope you found it interesting. If you did, I'd really appreciate it if you like, subscribed. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, feel free to leave those down in the comment section below. Big thanks to my Patreon sponsors, Thoughts, Time, and Step Back, and thank you for watching to the end of this video. If you do want to see any of the other videos from this year at the different price points in terms of the gift guides, you can go ahead and check out the playlist right up here. We will also include last year's videos if you want to check those out as well. As always, stay safe out there. See you next time.